Hello and welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit and I'm your host Malika Mishra. Along the next half an hour, we will be taking up all your stock related queries. So do not forget to call us on the numbers flashing on your screen. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp, but I do urge you to pick up your phones and call us right away because this is your best opportunity, remember, to get all your stock related queries answered, that too live. And today we have Avinash Gurakshakar, Director Research, Profit Mart Securities, joining us on the fundamentals, and we will soon have our technical analyst Sundar Kevat from Ashika Institutional Equity joining us as well. Welcome until then, Gurakshakar. Thank you so much. Let's head straight with our very first query. Vijay from Chennai has written to us, and this is a very interesting one because he holds 100 shares of Force Motors, bought 1,800 rupees, and he's sitting on a massive, and I don't know the word for it, but he's sitting on a profit of 3.5 crore rupees. That's really exciting because that's so profitable, right? And from in the past 5 years itself, Force Motors has shown a return of about 2,000%. What's your outlook on this one, and would you recommend our viewer to book his profits?
Yeah, I think, Malika, I think, looking at the kind of buying price the investor has entered into, I think it makes sense for the investor to at least book 20-25% profits because, markets are always going to reward you when you exit at the right price. And despite the fact that Post Motors is doing pretty well, they have a large runway to cover, growth prospects appear quite promising. I would say that a 20-25% profit booking is not bad considering that he can not only recover his investment, and since he's got a very low price, his margin of safety continues to be very strong. So I think the balance quantity can be held on for the next 12-18 months. The numbers which have come out for Q1 have been quite good. And, at these levels, definitely the growth will continue. But the alpha creation which has happened in this period is something very significant. So he should book out some part of his holding, and the rest he can hold on for the next 12 to 15 months.
A certain part of your holding and also then continue holding because you have a good margin of safety because you bought it at a lesser price. Let's now go across to Suresh joining us on the phone line from Visakhapatnam. Hi Suresh, good evening.
Good evening, madam. I would like to invest in JM Financials, madam.
Okay, and why would you like to invest in JM Financials?
Madam, it is a diversified business and assets, AUM and all those businesses and registry services, all that sort of things. And recent 2 days back, its profit has gone so much. And
right. Okay. Avinash, we have this counter for you. Our viewer from Visakhapatnam is interested to buy JM Financials. JM Financials is currently trading around 187 and was up about 15% in trade today itself. What's your outlook on JM Financials? Do you think in the long run it's a good investment bet?
Oh, definitely. I think the company is a very well established, company in the financial services space. They operate on the ARC side as well as on the institutional broking side. And I think the numbers which have come out for Q1 have been very strong. So, that's the reason the stock has jumped by almost 14-15% today. See, my advice to the investor is that when the entire news is out in the market, the stock valuation matters a lot. So today, if the investor is buying this share, he has to at least keep a time frame of at least a year or two, at least 18 to 24 months. Because the stock, I remember about a couple of years back, used to trade in double digits, 60, 70 odd rupees. From those levels, it's gone up to 180, 190. So unless and until the time frame is long term, growth will continue, but obviously on a higher base. So, if the investor is looking at making a quick buck in the next 6 months or 1 year, maybe the valuations may not be attractive because the price has already jumped significantly. But if he can invest for the next 2 years and stay invested, he can definitely expect a decent risk reward.
Okay, so the timeline is important here. If you invest for 2 years, maybe perhaps then it could turn out a profitable bet for you, Kiran. And now we have Kiran joining us on the phone line from Hyderabad. Hi Kiran, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question. How can we help you?
I would like to deploy 2 lakh rupees, 1 lakh each in the counters like one is Shilpa Medicare, ma'am, which declares the result, and the the profit growth by multifold, and the bonus issue is also given to the stock. And the other counter is, ma'am, I'm really
it's
sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Is it
the other
Zinka?
counter is,
Zinka Logistics?
yes, ma'am, Zinka Logistics.
Right. Okay.
Zinka Logistics. Actually, Zinka Logistics, today there is very high volume ahead, ma'am, because nearly 1 crore shares are added, and good mutual fund houses like MIT have also added it, ma'am, like foreign investors, FI investors. Is there a good upside in both these counters, ma'am, for the next 3 months or 6 months? I would like to know both the long-term and short-term outlooks for these stocks, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Avinash, we have 2 counters to investigate here. One is Zinka Logistics and the other is Shilpa Medicare. Now, both from very different streams. Oh, and we also have our technical expert, Sarvendra Srivastav, joining us. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I will take up one of these queries to you to welcome you. But let's actually talk about Shilpa Medicare and Zinka Logistics, Avinash. Our viewer Kiran wants to deploy about 1 lakh rupee each into these 2 counters. And while he is sort of interested in Shilpa Medicare on the back of strong results, Zinka Logistics seems to have gotten great traction from mutual fund houses as per his analysis. What is your take on both these counters, and do you think this much money currently deploying into these 2 counters would be a prudent decision?
See, both companies mentioned, Malika, are decent. I think Zinka Logistics as well as, the other company that is Shilpa Medicare. Both are well established, and I think the volumes in the market clearly indicate that people are buying at current odd levels. But one must realize that the investment time frame which the investor is asking is just about 3 months. So I think this is a short-term call. If at all somebody were to invest at these level, I think the stocks have already moved up. So the time frame has to be slightly longer term. Unless you have got a time frame of 12 to 18 months, the real risk reward is not going to come in, because whenever you buy a stock which is already into momentum, it means there are many other investors who already have invested. I think the real trick is buying stocks which are not glamorous and which you can get a chance to enter at lower levels. So my sense is keep the time frame a little longer. 3 months is too short a period. I would say that if it is a purely short-term call, then I think he should look at buying a small quantity, but keep a strict stop loss, because 3 months, the volatility in the market is quite sharp. Anything can happen, but longer term, yes, the decent kind of risk reward is possible.
Okay, then that is the perfect chance that I get to go to Sarvendra on this. Sarvendra, you've heard Avinash. I'd like you to suggest strict stop losses for both these counters, because our viewer is interested in a short-term, investment in both these counters. And as Sir said, market volatility does not allow you to do that if you want to sustain that kind of investment. So what would your stop losses for both these counters be?
See, I think short term, I think both of them are quite overbought. So I think if he's buying, I think the risk rewards are not favoring a short term trade here. So I would agree with Avinash that within the short term, I think the risk rewards are still not nicely placed. So he'll have to kind of wait out, I think, next 15-20 days before he should be doing any of these names. And Zinka, especially, the data is pretty less, and whatever data it has, I think it's always kind of got stuck around that 550, 560 mark. So I think not much beyond 560 there in the short term. Any breakout with volumes above 560, 565 will only be the trigger. Till that's not happening, I think he has to wait it out. And for Shilpa, I think it's already run up in this particular rally already from 800 to 900 odd. I think he's kind of missed the bus in the short term. So I think wait out. Shilpa 800 around those levels could be a good level to accumulate. But as of now, wait.
Okay, so as of now, wait is a suggestion coming in. Let's talk to Murli now. He's joining us on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Murli. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I bought Ashapura Mine.
Okay.
As the fundamental analysis the government is telling, less glamorous shares I am buying with some fundamentals. I bought this with 502 rupees, 500 shares. 542.03 is my buying price. It has given an excellent result. And number two, it is not only in one mineral, it is a diversified mine chemicals. Recently, they added diversified bauxite also, iron ore, bleaching clay, kaolin and barriers and others also. And seems to be very 16 PE only, not much costly also. And it has come down by 15% from its peak. I am willing to wait. After good results, it has come down today. I am willing to wait for another 15 to 18 months.
Okay.
What will be the advice? What will be your advice? I should get minimum of at least 15% return.
Okay. All right. Okay. Avinash, a couple of points. Our viewer from Bengaluru, Murli, holds 500 shares of Ashapura Mine, bought at 542.03. The stock is currently trading around 500 levels, but saw a dip of about 7%. Now, he's mentioned a couple of things. One, that it had a good quarter in terms of the results. Second, it is, valued at a fair PE of about 15 or thereabouts. Do you think then the kind of the correction that the stock is seeing in the past 2 days at least is a blessing in disguise to go back and buy more, or do you think it's trading at an expensive price?
I think you can continue to hold, for the next 12, 18 months, as he rightly mentioned. See, this is not a short-term call. And normally what we have been finding is that in this kind of market, despite good numbers, the stocks don't generally react positively after the results, because most of the actions, happen ahead of the results. So I think you must understand that currently maybe the stock is experiencing a little bit of profit booking. And most importantly, liquidity in this counter is very limited. So my sense is that, this is a company from the metal space. If the investor can hold on for the next, say, 12, 18 months, I think definitely his return expectation of 15% looks very reasonable. And hopefully, the second and third quarter, if it is equally robust, he could expect the stock to gain positive traction. So I think he should definitely hold on. He should not get panicky because of a 6-7% drop. These things are very common in the cash counters. And I think this volatility is very much evident. Normally, we see sell-offs happening after the result. So keep the, conviction solid and wait for the next 12, 18 months.
Keep your conviction solid and wait for the next 12 to 18 months is the advice that Avinash is giving you. Let's now talk to Raghu, calling us from Bengaluru as well. Hi Raghu, good evening.
नमस्ते मैडम, हम अविनाश सर से बात करना था।
हाँ जी।
उसके पास पहले भी एक बार बात किया था हूँ, उसको नमस्ते बोलता हूँ अविनाश सर को।
एकदम
मेरा क्वेश्चन है, पहले ही वही पहला बार भी पूछा था। मेरा पास 3000 शेयर था, उसके बाद सेल करके अभी 2400 शेयर वकार फार्मा का है।
ठीक है।
350 रुपए में हम लिया हूँ। अभी क्या करना? अभी पहले एक महीने को पहले 1750 में भेजा हूँ 200 शेयर।
अच्छा।
अभी 2400 शेयर मेरा पास है। अविनाश सर का पूछा, पहले एक बार पूछा था उसके पास ये।
अच्छा, ठीक है। तो हम दोबारा पूछते हैं एक बार कि उनका क्या। हाँ, ठीक है, समझ गई मैं। अविनाश, आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है। हमारे व्यूअर बेंगलुरु से जानना चाहते हैं कि उनके पास करेंटली वॉकहार्ट फार्मा के 2400 शेयर्स हैं। उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा मुनाफा बना लिया है। ही इज सिटिंग ऑन अ प्रॉफिट ऑफ ओवर 20 lakh एट द मोमेंट, and the stock, he bought these shares at 350 and the stock is now trading around 1500 odd levels. Given how pharmaceutical the space itself is currently poised, do you think it would be advisable to book his profits because 27 lakhs is a good number to sit on, or do you think there is more conviction justified here?
आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि देखिए, इन्होंने ऑलरेडी 1700 शेयर इन्होंने बेचे हैं, इफ आई एम हर्ड राइटली. सो ही इज ऑलरेडी पॉसिबली टेकन आउट हिज प्रॉफिट्स एंड कैपिटल फ्रॉम हिज अर्लियर ट्रांजैक्शन, बट इफ एट ऑल हिज ओरिजिनल शेयर्स इटसेल्फ आर 2400. तो मैं यही कहूंगा कि इसमें से ज्यादातर शेयर जो है 75% आप पकड़ के रखिए, क्योंकि देखिए फार्मा सेक्टर के लिए आने वाले 2-3 महीने काफी चैलेंजिंग रहेंगे. यूएस में जो ट्रम्प साहब ने टैरिफ अनाउंस किया है, उन्होंने अभी तो फार्मा कंपनीज को कोई टैक्स या टैरिफ अनाउंस नहीं किया है, बट अगर ऐसा कुछ आता है तो डेफिनेटली थोड़ी बहुत दिक्कत वोकार्ट को भी होगी. बट आपका बाइंग प्राइस बहुत ही नीचे का है, तो इसलिए आपका मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी अच्छा है. और आने वाले 1-2 साल में मुझे लगता है कि वोकार्ट जो प्रोडक्ट्स डेवलप कर रहे हैं, इसमें बहुत अच्छा रिस्क रिवॉर्ड बन सकता है, क्योंकि नए मॉलिक्यूल्स उन्होंने डेवलप किए और इसका फायदा उनको जरूर मिलेगा. तो मेरी राय में अगर कोई भी शेयर आपने पहले बेचा नहीं है तो 25% मुनाफा वसूल कीजिए और 75% क्वांटिटी अगले 1.5-2 साल के व्यू के लिए होल्ड करिए.
Chaliye, thank you so much, Avinash ji, for that suggestion. And now we have Snigdha calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Snigdha. Good evening. Snigdha, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes. Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening. So my query is regarding ABB.
Okay.
So I've purchased 50 shares at 5470.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to hold it for either 6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
So I just want to know, like, when would I get my buying price?
Okay.
And also I would like to invest rupees 5 lakhs. I mean, I have 5 lakhs of corpus and I would like to invest them. So I would like to know a few short-term trades which I can do in the next week.
Okay. Okay. All right. Avinash, actually, I would also want a technical advice on this one. So, Sarvendra, first I'll come to you on Snigdha's query. So, Snigdha holds 50 shares of ABB bought at 5,470 rupees a piece. She is sitting on a loss of about 19,000, and although the stock was up about 0.3% with a positive bias in trade today, how does, in the long term, does his trade look like to you, given how the technical indicators are currently faring for ABB? And with a corpus of 5 lakh rupees, as a technical expert, do you see there are pockets in the Indian markets currently that you can go and invest in?
I think in this case, I would tell her that this is the bluest of blood. I think the bluest of blue chip ABB that she's bought, and she's not had a bad trade. A stock which had corrected from around 9K to around 5K. I think still she's got a good trade in the sense that she'll have to give it some time. The time that she is giving 3-6 months is fairly less here. The stock is in a medium term downtrend below its long term marker, so it will take some time to repair whatever damage has already been done, and this corrective phase will get over. That repair process, I think, would last 3 to 6 months, and in between it will keep giving her bounces. So I think she should stay put in this, but I think she should now on ABB especially 9 to 12 months is what she should be looking at, and in fact she should be not only looking at to make her price but to make some profits as well. So I think 5,800 to 5,900 is possible, but she'll have to give it 9 to 12 months at least on that particular name. And for the second question that she has, I think you will have to wait out. I think the market is in a very, very critical phase right now. Nifty also, I would say that long-term risk rewards don't look that bright to me. So medium term, slightly you are below medium term markers. The 50 days, 100 days, you look at them, you're slightly below those numbers. So I think here also within her time frame, it's better to wait out. I think you will get better ideas. And for a corpus like that, I think she should be trying to buy at least 10 good names and try and have sectoral allocations also as much as possible. So around 50K per stock, she could look at good 3-4 sectors. Currently, where I see good risk rewards happening is only the two-wheeler space, few names. So I think if she wants, I think two-wheeler names, especially Hero Moto, Bajaj, I think those names can be looked at. But beyond that, I don't have a broad basket because the AD line and the advanced decline ratios in the medium to long term for the markets are slightly down. So there are more declines to advances. If you look at slightly long-dated data, multi-month data, you'll see that there's small decay and stocks are gradually going towards their long-term markers or breaking them. So wait till this turns. In the meantime, I think a couple of pockets, as I said, two-wheeler space, maybe she can look at a few names there. But over the next 1 to 3 months, I think she will get better risk rewards and better prices to invest.
Right, Sarvendra. Thank you so much. Snigdha, if you're a short-term investor, Sarvendra suggests you to wait for some time until the markets turn to a positive side. Let's talk to Prasad now, calling us from Bengaluru. Lots of calls from Bengaluru today. Hi, Prasad. Good evening.
Hey, hi. Good evening. My question is regarding capital market players. So now I'm looking at MCX. Will that be a safe bet if I can, buy on SIP basis, or is there any other options in the whole capital market thing, be it capital market players or asset management companies? I would like to add 1 or 2 stocks from this chain. Now I'd like to know, is MCX, or will there be any suggestions from the experts?
Okay, interesting one. Avinash, I'll take this question to you. A viewer from Bengaluru wants to know whether this is the right time to enter MCX. Multi-Commodity Exchange of India is currently trading around 8,339 odd levels and was up about 2.3% in trade today. And it has been seeing some kind of traction recently. In order to play the capital market story of India, Prasad wants to know whether MCX is the right counter to go to, or are there any other positive counters, profitable ones that you see that could benefit him more?
Yeah, I think, see, if you have a 2-year view, Malika, you can definitely look at MCX, but I know valuations are not cheap. I think, this is a platform-based business. They are the largest player in the commodity business. So clearly, I think you're paying a premium to buy this. So, obviously, that is a big kind of impediment if you want to get the valuation in your favor. But I think there are many other market intermediaries, like recently listed NSDL looks quite positive. The quarterly numbers have also been quite encouraging. And most importantly, margins have improved, in this quarter. So I think, clearly, I think invest in those capital market intermediaries which are, slightly not, overbought by the institutions, or which are, very old, because there the valuations are not in your favor. So NSDL could be a good bet. And, if the investor wants a slightly longer term call, then I think CAMS, which is into the registrar business, that is also related to the capital market. So where I think the valuations are fair, I think if you keep the next couple of years, these can be, bought on every dip, maybe on a SIP basis, and where, the investor can create his portfolio.
Okay, all right. Now let's go across to Ravi calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Ravi. Good evening.
Yeah,
Ravi, can you hear me?
very
Yes.
good evening.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have a query on Zydus Lifesciences.
Okay, sure. How many stocks do you hold?
Yeah, just want to know, is it a good stock to buy? I want technicals and fundamentals as well.
All right.
I have corpus of around 50,000.
Okay, got it. Sarvendra, taking this question to you, how does Zydus Lifesciences look like, especially from a technical perspective, because it has not given that promising return in the past couple of months?
Yeah, I think the pharma space, few names have kind of underperformed, and this is being one of those names possibly underperforming over the last couple of months. And if you go and look at the space as a whole, I think it's again US centric. Till now, there's nothing been there on that plate. But I think the deadlines are closing by, and let's see that clarity as to where the Trump administration is what they are doing on these particular names or this particular industry. So that clarity till it comes, I think I would try to avoid. And this being a high beta name and being in the underperforming list, I would try to avoid this name for the time being. Next 15-20 days, I think in this space you should wait out.
Okay, all right. Let's speak to Siddharth calling from Hyderabad as well. Hi, Siddharth. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Yes, please go ahead, Siddharth.
Madam, I am holding Punjab PNB Housing Finance 20 shares, which I bought at 1103 rupees with a short-term view of 6 months.
Okay.
So my question is, can I hold to this counter or shall I shift to some other counter?
Okay, got it. Sarvendra, going back to you on this one again, Siddharth from Hyderabad wants to know whether he can continue holding his 20 shares of PNB Housing Finance bought at 1103 rupees a piece. Do you think the charts are volatile?
The stock has gapped down after that news, and once you have some corporate developments news going around, I think the stock loses flavor for some time. Good pedigree, but maybe good stock, bad timing is what I can say. And probably he would have never known what was coming in terms of the news developments there. So everybody was taken by a surprise. But this gap down, I think, between that 1,000 to 900 mark broadly, I think that gap till it does not get filled. And that repair process will also take time. I think he'll have to wait it out. Now, at such lower levels, I can't tell him to exit. So it's very difficult for me to tell him to book losses. So I think that part I'll leave it to him. But I can only tell him that he has to give it some time to recover. And if he gives some time, I think possibly somewhere near his cost is what it might pull back. Not completely, but around 1,000, 1,030, that gap area. In that gap area, it might pull back. So I think he'll have to wait out and take a relook after 15-20 days. He can definitely call us back. Right now, it is very, very, it's very, very fresh, that event and that press conference. But let it settle down. Next 15 days, we'll see what happens.
Now, the thing is, we have a couple of callers lined up and we'll have to fit them in a very short span of time. So requesting experts to just keep their answers to maximum 15 to 20 seconds so that we can give everybody a chance. Let's talk to Kamal from Indore. Hi, Kamal. Good evening.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Shoot your query. Yes.
I'm holding currently CAMS at the rate of 37.50. So just wanted view on 1 year target, because nowadays, like, if we talk about the registrars, like Fintech also, the numbers were not good. So just wanted one year review on this.
Okay. Avinash, very quickly, the counter here is CAMS. Our viewer has bought them at 50 rupees a piece, 3,700 rupees is the price. Go ahead and give us your suggestion.
No, I think you can hold on. My sense is next 12 months, at least if everything goes well for the capital markets, we are expecting that post-September markets would get a further kind of re-rating. So, in these kind of markets, registrars like CAMS would definitely do well. So I think clearly around 4,000, 4,100 looks possible. So over the next 12-15 months, it's a hold.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Let's talk to Bhaskar now, calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Bhaskar. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I am holding PG Electroplast at 550.
Okay.
550, 300 shares. So for long term I want both technical and fundamental.
Got it. Sarvendra, the counter here is PG Electroplast, bought at 300 rupees, bought at 550. He holds 300 shares. What do you think about this particular counter, and do you think he can continue holding them?
Yeah, again, a darling stock, when it gets punished, I think this is the kind of falls that you get. So I think currently it's too deep and too oversold to warrant a fresh view. I think the damage has been done. Just like I told the previous guest, that just wait it out and wait for a pullback. There's nothing much that you and me can do here.
Right.
So just wait out for a pullback, and in between, let's see what develops fresh. So give it 15 days. We will take a fresh call on this after 15 days.
Okay, so wait for 15 days until you see PG Electroplast turning or not. But on that note, thank you so much, experts, for joining us. Sarvendra Srivastav, our technical expert, and Avinash Gorakshakar, our fundamental hero. Thank you so much. And viewers, please stay tuned to NDTV Profit as we continue to give you a lot more news and updates. We have Profit 360 lined up for you right on the other side.
जय जवान, जो मैंने शुरू किया था ये एक्चुअली, मैं दोबारा आया हूँ आप लोग से मिलने के लिए। मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आप देख रहे हैं YouTube पे मेरी फिल्म। वाह, क्या बात है, क्या बात है। जय जवान मेरे साथ 15 अगस्त को सिर्फ NDTV पर। जय जवान, जय जवान, जय हिंद, जय
हिंद। They're the force behind some of India's most respected business empires. But you've rarely heard them speak. Now, for the first time, these leaders open up on succession, conflict, governance, and inheritance. Join me as we step inside boardrooms and living rooms of India's most enduring family businesses for real stories, raw conversation, resilient legacies, building
Exporters reeling from recent tariff hikes could find relief soon as the Commerce Ministry moves to launch its ambitious export promotion mission, say sources to NDTV Profit. Signaling another step towards improving bilateral relations, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is scheduled to visit India next week for discussions with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. India places renewed emphasis on BRICS cooperation as international geopolitical dynamics continue to shift. Sources within the government say the current approach centers on managing relations with both Western countries and BRICS partners as the world moves towards increasingly multipolar structures. The markets end higher today as the Nifty reclaims the 24,600 mark and the Sensex advances 350 points. Most sectoral indices close in the green, with defense stocks leading the gains. Mid and small cap indices marginally outperform the benchmark indices. The Enforcement Directorate questions cricketer Suresh Raina and Telugu actor Lakshmi Manchu in the online betting scam case. Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai says that he will examine the ongoing issue surrounding stray dogs following concerns raised in court about conflicting Supreme Court orders. Perplexity makes a bid of $34.5 billion for Google Chrome's browser. The proposed sum is almost double the $18 billion valuation of Perplexity. India enters the race to host Commonwealth Games in 2030, securing India Olympic Association's approval for its bid. Ahmedabad is the proposed venue. Good evening, you're watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm Sanjana. Over the next half an hour, I'm going to take you through the latest in markets as well as national and international news. So let's dive right into it and have a look at how the markets fared today. We saw some midweek cheer in the markets with the Nifty and Sensex breaking their two-day losing run with the Nifty back above 24,600. Most sectors ended higher. PSU banks were the biggest drag while FMCG and oil and gas stayed flat. Leading the rally were defense, pharma and healthcare stocks. Over to my colleague Mahima for the complete market wrap.
Alright, yes, so it's been a good day of markets for sure. Nifty closed about 24,600 and this was largely led by Apollo Hospitals as well as Hindalco. Benchmarks marginally did better than broader markets. 36 Nifty companies ended in green out of 50. The Nifty Pharma emerges as the top gainer on the sectoral heat map today. In terms of Nifty Pharma, the gainers was led by Alchem Labs as well as Laurus Labs. The mid-cap 150 gained over 0.6%, led by Godrej Industries as well as GlaxoSmithKline. The Nifty small cap also inched 0.6% higher, led by NMDC Steel, EIH. The Nifty Metal, Nifty Pharma, Auto gained over 1% in trade and closed 1% higher as well. The small cap 250 did gain third day in a row. The Nifty Pharma, Metal, Media, Auto gained also for third day in a row. The Nifty FMCG fell for second day consecutive day, and NMDC Steel up 20% post strong Q1 earnings, and Nykaa also gained 5% despite the inline Q1 numbers. Now Apollo Hospital gained 8%, almost closed 8% higher on the back of its Q1 earnings. So this is the overall view as to how markets have panned out today.
Meanwhile, sources in the Commerce Ministry have told NDTV Profit that exporters may soon get some relief amid the tariff hit. Rishabh Bhatnagar joins us with more on this.
This export promotion mission, remember, this is not a new mission. This was announced in the budget this year, but it wasn't implemented yet. But with these tariffs coming in from the US and coming in globally, there is a certain hit and certain heat that exporters are feeling. And in that correspondence, we're seeing an export promotion mission to be rolled out very soon. Now, this was introduced with an outlay of about 22,050 crores, so 2,250 crores worth of incentives that were sort of being planned for exporters. We don't know what the final layout might be, but what we're hearing is that it is done and dusted from the Commerce Ministry's end. The mission is now with the package is now with the Finance Ministry's Expenditure Finance Committee, which is responsible for reviewing all of these government packages that come through, and post that, once they approve it, it will be sent to the cabinet for the final approval, and then the mission will be implemented. So what we're seeing is that some sort of a relief for exporters will be on the cards very, very soon. We're seeing pharma getting impacted, textiles, leather, gems and jewelry, shrimp industries and exporters in India being the worst hit out of these US tariffs. And all of these steps now, India trying to support its exporters, like the Prime Minister has also said, like Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has also said, that the government will come out in full support of its fishermen, of its farmers, of its MSMEs. And part of this project and package will be to support the MSME exporters as well.
Meanwhile, ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming China visit for the August 31st Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi will travel to India next week for high-level talks with NSA Ajit Doval. The diplomatic outreach signals renewed engagement between the two countries. Let's bring in my colleague Mohammad Ghazali from NDTV for more details on this.
Chinese Foreign Minister is visiting on 18th of August, and he also happens to be the special representative of the land border dispute from Chinese side, and Mr. Doval is the land representative, a special representative of the border dispute issue or the land border issue from India's side. Last year in December, Mr. Doval was there for the same talks, a special representative for the land dispute talks there, and the second round of meeting, which was to be hosted by India, was pending for the last 6-7 months, and it was announced by India that it will be happening in August, so that is why the Chinese Foreign Minister will be here to attend it. But the timing of the meeting is very significant,